Alright, hey guys, Do Stuff with Nikki here. Part 3. There's one thing in part 2 when I was talking about tomatoes I actually forgot to say, and I was looking at my notes here. Because somebody had asked me about tomatoes and all this garbage. Everybody wants to grow a tomato. Here's the thing. If you have a hard time with tomatoes, tomatoes are cool, but they can be problematic. But we're getting into spring and summer all over the country. Now, you can grow these everywhere, the tomatoes I'm going to tell you about. The cool thing about them is they're genetically more of a wild tomato. They're tiny, but the thing is they will make you piles of freaking tomatoes. Enough to make sauce, enough to eat, enough for everything. You just have to get used to the idea that you're eating something that's a midget. A munchkin? Not going there. Alright, they're called Everglades tomatoes. They are kind of native to here in Florida. Once you get them out there, they will take over the world, and they will give you more tomatoes than you can ever eat. Amazing plants. If you can find the seeds for them, that's the tomato I would recommend you grow. And shit, it's a fan situation because tomatoes are problematic. You know, you're gonna go on YouTube and there's gonna be people stake it and prune it and take the suckers off. And I let my tomatoes just go out of control. And I've got a lot back here. In fact, I just had the iguanas eat all the tomatoes off 2 of the bushes the other day. I'm still trying to catch those bastards. But the Everglades ones are cool. If you just plant them and just leave them alone, they'll just start taking over one whole area and make you literally an ass load of tomatoes. It's a great shit hits the fan crop. Really is. Because, like I'm a big advocate of it, if you grow stuff that's a little bit more natural and just let it go, it'll give you more food. Absolutely. Don't overthink it, is my biggest piece of advice. Because, I'll do a walk around pretty soon. It's a complete and total mess here. I'll pick up the phone. There's my patio. It's like a bomb hit it. There's my useless pool, which I'd like to get rid of. Anyway. My backyard goes all the way around the corner, around the side of the house, and I have crap all over the place, but I'm redoing stuff, so I'll do a walk around like I did last year, but don't overthink it, because the thing is, I do let the weeds take over, and you'd be smart to do it, because the weeds know what they're doing. And if you observe your property, if you have a little bit of property, this doesn't go for people in apartments, obviously, and smaller properties, but even if you have a little bit of land, observe where the weeds come up, which ones do, and how much they grow, because they're there for a reason. And most of them are useful, by the way. So stop killing them. Now, apartments and small space living. I brought my bags out here to show you guys, because I've been holed up in the garage. That's where I've got tables set up, where I start my seedlings and what have you. And also because I get up so early in the morning, because even lately, literally, I can't sleep. I wake up sometimes at 3 in the morning. And I don't want to be, you know, all over the house because I have windows everywhere. And so I just kind of lock myself in the garage. But I play with my plants that early in the morning. So I've been saving all my containers and stuff. I've always done that. Even at a time when pre-SHTF you didn't have to do that. Only because I kind of make use of what I have. So for you people that are kind of stuck, like I don't have any room, I can't grow, there's no excuse, you actually can. But I have a dog and a cat. And what I do is I save the fruit cans. I'll take it out. These have a few uses. I have different sizes too. You know, little ones, big ones. But I do cook for my animals, actually. But for SHTF, I stocked up on animal food. So anyway, cans, right? You can use this to sprout seedlings. But what I do is the most important thing when you're doing your little seedlings and all that, you know, when it gets to the point you're like, oh my gosh, I want to transplant it. So you got to shake the poor little thing out. I don't do that. I cut the bottom off too with my can opener. So it's completely open, and then I usually recycle like a plastic tray, whatever. I line them all up, what I grew, and dirt's in there, you know, and then the thing grows. And especially for stuff like corn that actually despises transplanting, All you kind of have to do is when you pick it up is just gently push it through after you've made your hole in the ground, and it goes in there. You haven't really disturbed it all that much. So it's a big help. And not only that, when you're done using that, or if you haven't at all, it's a great cover when it's open on both ends for seedlings that are, you know, that big, and you're trying to fight off pests or slugs, or we have a lot of slugs in Florida, or whatever's trying to eat your shit. You take it, and you got your little seedling, and you put it over the top, and the seedling's in there. So he's outside, you've transplanted him, you got a little protection. Until he gets big enough over the top of the can, you just take it off. Didn't cost you anything. And you can take it out and use it again. If you don't have that, I'm sure a lot of you have a lot of this. Paper. When I run low on stuff, or I'm using stuff that I know will sprout fast and I can get it in the ground afterwards, you can go in your garage, your kitchen, wherever you're at, put this on a tray and sprout a bunch on your countertop, and then you've got recyclable paper pots made out of paper, regular paper. I use crap paper. Again, don't overthink it. It's like, oh, newspaper has all this ink in it and blah blah. Whatever. It doesn't matter. The worms will eat it. They're happy. You put stuff in here, you can put it right in the ground. It deteriorates. Plants are happy. Didn't bother the roots. You just dig a hole and throw it in there, and that's it. Easy. They're easy to make. I'll take this one apart and show you. There's a regular. Oh, maybe that wasn't. That one's dumb. All right, 1 second. Rewind. All right. This was just a regular piece of paper here. Right. So what I do is I folded it over, and then you just roll it. I have like a bottle thing. I roll it around. I'm gonna show you that next. Roll it around. And then because you have like a little jar in here, a little mason jar or whatever, and then because it's in there and it's stiff, then you just fold the ends down, you know, like basically like that. Pretend my hand is a mason jar or whatever size you want to do, and then there you go. You got your little instant pot. And it's just fine. Put it in a tray, fill it up with dirt, water it, do whatever you got to do. If you have a quick sprouting crop, by the time it pulls up and the paper is deteriorating, it's ready to go in the ground anyway, so it doesn't even matter. My next one is, a lot of us have been stockpiling water, and especially down here in Florida, the gallons ran out and everybody was limited, so all you could get was like cases of the small bottles. That's what I turned them into. That's a cucumber lemon. It's got to go in the ground. It's way too big already at this point, but I wanted to show you. These things are cool. I should have gotten an empty one. It's a water bottle. I cut it near the top. If you have rope, I put a hole in the cap. I put a cotton string in there. This is actually hemp. Grow that too. And you put water in the bottom. It's a great way to save water if you don't have enough to water your plants. Because I don't use tap water. I only use rainwater. And it was a little, what are you doing, dog? And hasn't been raining a whole lot here in the last few weeks. And so you put water in here. Little strings in there, right? Just tie a knot and run it up through. All right, super easy. And then you put it upside down. Just a little bit of dirt. It saves resources. And look at the roots. This plant's only 12 days old. That's what I was telling you. And it's a lemon cucumber. They're actually cucumbers, but they're shaped like lemons. They're yellow. They're really cool. Sprout really quick too. Good shit hits a fan crop. But if you do it this way, you don't have to water. It constantly sucks it up through there, and it gives it just enough moisture until you're ready to stick it in the ground. It's a great way to recycle your shit hits the fan water bottles, right? You can do it with bigger ones and all that stuff. Whatever. Other thing I wanted to tell you is a lot of people. Oh, a few more things. Actually, somebody asked me about this, and I think I said something about it in part 1. I won't show you the front because I have no idea if you're learning. I got this from the pet aisle section. I've been telling people this is a bag of sunflower seeds, right? I have big bags actually in my garage. I just pulled a little one out to show you. Sunflowers. This is a great crop. And yes, the birdseed black oil sunflower, cheap. This was like $2 and something at the store. It will sprout. It will give you food very fast. Take some of these seeds, grab a handful before you go to bed at night, throw them in a jar, cover it with water, and you wake up the next day, get yourself whatever, your container, any usable container, little, doesn't matter what it is, throw them on there. You can use actually wet paper towels, or you can use soil if you want to use soil. If you want to keep it on your counter, paper towels is fine. Because sunflower seeds, like a lot of other microgreens, sprout really quick. And you'll have yourself fresh greens, highly nutrient dense, within, God, less than a week. I mean, and for cheap. Can't get seeds? Super nutritious. And I mean, if you really want to get cool, you know, and you have a little bit of property, throw some outside. It'll make you new sunflowers. The birds, the bees, everybody will come. And you can harvest some sunflowers. These will grow. So you don't have to go all crazy, you know, you gotta get organic sunflower seeds. That bullshit. Black oil sunflower seeds, couple of bucks in the pet. I mean, any supermarket. This is Publix. At my Publix, they're dirt cheap. I can get a humongous bag I got for, I think it was like $6 or $7. Super cheap. And the thing is, you sprout them, you have sunflower microgreens. And there's a ton of these things you can sprout. I'll do a whole microgreen thing if you want, because I sprout them all the time and eat them. So that's that one. And then the other thing is, I wish everybody would grow, because this is a crop right here, and I've got them all on my table. Looks like ginger, right? It's not. I got that too. We'll do that in whatever parts after this. Sunchokes. Alright, you've heard people call them Jerusalem artichokes. They're not from Jerusalem, and they're actually not really artichokes. They're actually in the sunflower family. These things will take over your planet once you start growing them. I'll just tell you that. Once you have them for life. But these things are amazing. You eat them raw. They kind of have the consistency of water chestnuts. Or you can boil them, and they're actually a nuttier, semi-sweeter tasting potato substitute. Great for people that are diabetics. I eat them all the time. Super tasty. And they're beautiful. They grow really quick once they sprout. And again, they will take over your garden. So the one thing I'll leave you with before I go on to the next part is if you can get your hands on the... If I dig enough out and I have enough, I'm happy to, you know, put it out there if somebody wants them, because they really do take over your garden. You'll have more than your family could ever eat with this crop. And it grows itself over and over and over again, because you'll always miss tubers. So the problem is, you miss it, these things just keep growing and sprouting back up and making more. And they do spread. Like rhizomes, kind of like ginger. And so once you have them, you've got them for life. But I think that's a good problem to have. It's free food for life. And the flowers are gorgeous. The beneficial insects love them, which is great for your garden. But again, what I was going to say is, if you can get your hands on them, like a lot of tubers, you can plant them fairly close if you want, but the further apart you plant them, the bigger crop of tubers you'll have. So at first, if you only have like 3 or 4 of these are big. And again, the eye thing, right? This will make a bunch of stalks. The further apart you plant them, the way more again, you won't be able to eat them all. You'll get that much. And this is the plant that just keeps on giving. It's like Christmas all the time. It's amazing. You don't dig them all out, they'll just keep on going. It's an amazing plant. This one's already sprouting. They're great. I love these things. This is one of the best SHTF crops in my opinion. Because the thing is too, again, they have these wild type of genetics, hardly any pest problems. None. They grow really fast, and they'll give you a crop fairly quickly. Where, like, even sweet potatoes, they do grow fast and take over the world, but they do have pest problems like whitefly and stuff like that. We have that a lot here in Florida because it's so hot. And of course, you know, potatoes have a lot of problems. These don't. It's a no-brainer, dude. You throw it in the corner of the garden and you have yourself a great, starchy, amazing vegetable for life. I mean, if you don't dig all the tubers out all the time, this is my #1 recommendation. So, okay. We'll do another part because I've got more and I didn't go through all my notes that everybody was asking me because I got another 15 questions today and all that. More cheap stuff. Again, you can grow it, nothing. It doesn't matter if they're all trying to take our seeds away right now. Screw them. You can do it on your own. You really can. Stay green, and a little wild and dirty doesn't hurt either. I'll be back for the next part. Love you guys.